Hello everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Let's just dive right in, shall we? The Massachusetts real estate market is incredibly competitive. Honestly, some might even call it a battlefield. And if you're going to conquer it, you're going to need a lot more than just excitement and a Pinterest board of your dream home. You need absolute, crystal clear financial clarity. So today, we're breaking down the exact strategies you need to empower your home buying journey. Specifically, we're going to focus in on the single most important tool you need to use to secure your financial future way before you even think about making an offer.
So let me just ask you this directly. Is your dream home actually affordable? It's a really tough question, right? Because we all have that perfect picture in our heads, the beautiful house, the perfect yard, that amazing neighborhood. But at some point, we have to confront the gap between that amazing dream of homeownership and the cold, hard financial reality. And honestly, bridging that gap is the absolute most important step you will take in your entire home buying journey.
And here is exactly why we need to bridge that gap. Let me throw a number at you. $650,900. That is the median home value right now in Suffolk County. It's a massive number, and yeah, it's meant to deliver a little bit of sticker shock because we really need to ground ourselves in the high-stakes reality of Massachusetts real estate. This isn't a game. This is, for most of us, literally the largest financial transaction of our lives. Winging the math, it just isn't an option.
But here's the thing, and this is where so many buyers make a really critical error. The asking price, it's just the tip of the iceberg. Beneath the surface are all these costs that catch countless buyers completely off guard. If you're out there only calculating your affordability based on that $650,900 price tag, and you're just ignoring what lies beneath the water, you are setting yourself up for some incredibly unpleasant surprises when it comes time to close.
There's this dangerous illusion in real estate where people think, okay, purchase price equals my monthly payment, right? Well, in reality, your payment is actually a pie, and it's made up of several moving parts: principal, interest, taxes, insurance, and sometimes PMI. And in Massachusetts, those local hits add up incredibly fast. We are talking about median property taxes averaging around $6,080 a year and homeowners insurance clocking in at an average of $1,483 annually. If you aren't accounting for these pieces of the pie, your budget is going to be wildly inaccurate.
And then there's one of the biggest hidden antagonists to your budget, PMI, or private mortgage insurance. Basically, if your down payment is less than 20%, you're probably going to be paying this extra monthly cost. The kicker? It doesn't build any equity for you, it solely exists to protect the lender if you happen to default on the loan. This is exactly why knowing these extra hidden costs before you fall head over heels for a house is just absolutely vital. You have to know right up front if PMI is going to quietly push that dream home completely out of your safe budget zone.
Which brings us to your ultimate line of defense, your secret weapon, a digital, Massachusetts-specific mortgage calculator. I really want you to think of this thing as a digital crystal ball that gives you total pre-purchase power. Because of our high local property taxes and those insurance premiums we just talked about, some generic calculator you randomly find online simply won't cut it. You need a tailored tool so your estimates actually reflect the true, real-world costs of living here in the Commonwealth. Look, doing back-of-the-napkin, manual math to figure all this out, it's practically a recipe for disaster, not to mention a massive headache. It is incredibly prone to human error, it takes forever, and usually you're only figuring out basic principal and interest anyway. But the comprehensive power of a digital calculator, it gives you high precision and instant results. It effortlessly folds in those taxes, the insurance, and the PMI. It lets you test completely different scenarios in the blink of an eye, which is something you just can't do accurately by yourself without getting a serious hand cramp. And testing those scenarios is absolutely critical. Financial experts constantly warn us about this. As one expert put it, the interest rate you secure is the single most important factor in determining the total cost of your home over the long term. It's so true. Even just the tiny fraction of a percentage point difference in your rate can literally save or cost you tens of thousands of dollars over a 30-year loan. So relying on a digital calculator to test out these crucial rates, it isn't just a helpful tip, it's a financial necessity. The best part is that using one of these tools is incredibly accessible. It's just a super simple 4-part flow. First, you plug in the total purchase price. Next, you define your down payment, and you can usually do that as a dollar amount or just a percentage. Then you input the current interest rate. And finally, you select your loan term, like a 15-year or a 30-year mortgage. With just those 4 basic inputs, boom, you generate an accurate, robust financial forecast in seconds. And instantly tweaking those variables dramatically alters your long-term wealth. For instance, if you look at a 15-year fixed loan,
Yeah, your monthly payment is higher, but the total interest you pay over the life of the loan is much lower, and it carries very low risk. A 30-year fixed, on the other hand, gives you a much more comfortable monthly payment, but you end up paying a lot more in total interest over those 3 decades. And then you have adjustable rate mortgages, or ARMs. These offer variable payments, but they carry a much higher, pretty uncertain risk level. The digital calculator lets you visually weigh this massive trade-off between monthly comfort and total interest paid, which helps you pick the exact right path for your specific lifestyle.
Oh, and running your numbers early is also fantastic for another reason. It might actually reveal that you qualify for some amazing local programs. Massachusetts is incredibly supportive of home buyers. Organizations like Mass Housing and the Massachusetts Housing Partnership offer specialized loan products with favorable rates, low down payment options, and even down payment assistance grants. Get this, Mass Housing has provided over $30 billion in help to buyers. If you don't run your numbers and explore your options early on, you are potentially leaving massive amounts of money right on the table.
But we do need to remember that all of this financial planning relies heavily on one specific number, your credit score. Generally speaking, 620 is the baseline most lenders want to see for regular conventional loans. You really got to think of your credit score as the bridge between your current finances and your future homeownership goals. A higher score means lenders trust you more, which is exactly what unlocks those lower money-saving interest rates that look so incredibly good when you plug them into your calculator.
Tying this all together, using your Massachusetts mortgage calculator is really just step one in a much broader roadmap to success. You do your budget analysis to prevent overspending, you review your credit to lower your monthly costs, you get pre-approved to actually strengthen your offer, and finally, you secure a home inspection to reduce physical and financial risk. This proactive approach is absolutely crucial because Massachusetts is what's known as a buyer beware state. That means the burden is entirely on you to discover any defects with the property. Proactive financial defense and solid pre-approval, that is your only real armor in this market.
Which leads us directly to your ultimate goal, bidding with confidence and completely avoiding becoming house poor. The entire reason we use these digital calculators before making an offer is to establish your absolute ceiling. When you know exactly what your budget can handle, and I mean really handle, including those heavy Massachusetts taxes, the insurance, the PMI, you strip all the emotion and the anxiety right out of the bidding process. You transform that fear of the unknown into pure, undeniable negotiating power.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with this vital question to chew on. You know the asking price, but do you know your true cost? Please don't let a beautiful house blind you to the financial reality. Go find a trusted, Massachusetts-specific mortgage calculator right now. Test out your scenarios and take absolute control of your financial future. Because at the end of the day, preparation is the true key to unlocking your dream home. Thanks so much for joining me, and happy house hunting.